is going on, you guys? It's Erica Brandy finally coming back with another video. Don't mind me that I'm not on top of the couch, or that I'm not on the couch, is because, again, I got my little Eli right here. Come here, baby. Come on, you wanna say hi? You always want to look at the camera. I got him right here, so I know if I'm on the couch, he's gonna try to jump, or he's gonna try to get into something and all that stuff. So I already know how he's gonna be, so I'm gonna preoccupy him with his little bone. Alright, so let me set you guys up right here and then we'll talk about this video. Alright, so we're just gonna get into the video. I have my notes on my phone, so yeah, we're gonna be right here and we're gonna talk about it. So we're gonna talk about the different type of people that you meet in basic combat training. You know, usually in the Navy, Marines, Air Force, and of course, what I know the most, the Army. Yeah, so there's gonna be obviously more categories or more type of people I'm gonna talk about, and the ones that not that you need to watch out for, but the ones that you're gonna eventually see. So let's just talk about it. All right, we know those trainees, or we know those those trainees that come in that automatically think they know it all. Right, so we'll just talk about, we're not putting them in certain orders, I just put it down on how I put it here on my notes. We're gonna talk about number one, which is the know-it-all. All right, the know-it-all. All right, he or she has gone through some sort of military training in high school, or their mom and dad was in a long time ago, or they researched, or they're in the future soldier program, blah. But you're gonna always have that one, probably more than one, but at least one trainee that comes there and thinks they know it all, right? They got the drill sergeant saying this, that, and then you see them over there talking like they know what the heck they're talking about. It happens all the time. It happens all the time that they just think, regardless of who is teaching or whatever, is that they know it all. So even if the drill sergeant walks away, they, like, not saying it's bad to be proactive and to teach and all that stuff, but you don't want to be teaching trainees certain things, especially if you are honestly training yourself. You gotta learn, especially during red phase. You're gonna always have the ones that, oh, I know how to do this, or I already know this, or I don't need to pay attention to this. Right, multiple things. So just like, they might be like, usually they might be good, but for the most part, they're probably the ones that need to pay attention the most, because they already have some mindset in their head on what or how the training is, and they just do completely opposite, right? Like, for instance, I had this one trainee that he thought he knew everything, and he wasn't bad, he wasn't, but during instruction, one of my drills, he decided to talk, or decided something else. So I was like, oh, you know what this drill sergeant's talking about? And of course he says yes. So I'm like, okay, right? And I think this is like the beginning of like weapons and all that. So with me just talking to him, talking to all of them, right? Because this is like in the bay. I grab the weapon, right? Clear it, of course, like you're always supposed to do. And then I just start taking it apart, right? Regular basic type of thing that you're supposed to do, right? So I start taking it apart while talking to trainees, right? While teaching them a lesson. And I break it apart and I give him 3 minutes to put it back together. Just put it together. No function check, no nothing, just put it together. Did not know what the heck he was doing or what parts was what, but he thought he knew everything about the M4, of how to shoot it, or what to do, or what this is and that is. See, people gotta slow the roll and all that stuff and realize this is basic, right? So if you think you know something, right, my advice, if you think you know something and you're like, yeah, I know this, cool. It's like the same thing I did at the Drill Sergeant Academy, right? I knew it. I knew a lot of the things, right? Not the modules, but I knew a lot of the materials because I was at Fort Sill and I was able to do Drill Sergeant certification because that was my old job. I knew a lot of it, but I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to be like in the full light, and I wanted to make sure I didn't look really stupid just in case I did something wrong or develop a different habit and all that stuff. So it's good to know things, right? Because you have it in your pocket, but you don't have to blast it out in front of everyone to be like, yeah, I'm the best, you know? Like, are you? Alright, now we're gonna go move on to number two. This is the one that's gonna kill a lot of people, alright? Alright, this is the one that's gonna annoy a lot of people, especially the older generation, or especially the older people. The immature trainees. There's gonna be a lot of them, and they might not be in their teenage years or like 18, 19, 20. They might be a little bit older, but they're just so freaking immature, right? And that's what usually causes a lot of arguments and a lot of commotion in the platoon, is the immature or immatureness, right? If that's the word, immatureness that people have, right? So to mitigate that, right, just shut your mouth. Just shut it. You want to be immature? All right, do that on your personal time. Don't do it during training, or don't do it if the drill sergeant walks away. Don't, right? Because if it, for the most part, it's gonna bring a lot of commotion in the platoon. But it does happen. But you're gonna meet a lot of immature people. At least half of the platoon might be immature, right? So the best way I can say to deal with it is find your own little group. Not your own group, but steer away from the immature people, or try to help them to get a little bit more insight of how it is to be in the real world. Because if you're immature, I mean, like, sometimes I'm immature, like, for real, I really am with my friends and all that stuff, but there's a time and place to, I guess, goof around. But for the most part, not in basic training, not the best place, and you get called out about it, especially in front of the drill sergeant. All right, next one. All right, the tough guy act. Tough guy act. And you're gonna see it in the beginning of Red Phase, right? Probably Yellow Phase now, but you're gonna see in the beginning of Red Phase, you're gonna always have that one joker, right? Either female or male, they're gonna think that I am tough. But how tough are you? What I'm saying is that it's good to be tough. It is, because I feel like I'm tough and I act like I'm tough, you know. When it comes down to it, I'll do whatever I need to do in order to show you that I'm tough. But in the military, it's still a profession, right? You're still gonna have to act professional. So a lot of the tough guy acts, right? If I can say that, the tough guy or the tough person, I'm gonna say tough trainee, right? Most of it's just an act, right? They come here and they always have the mentality that, like, if a drill sergeant said this, I will punch them in the face, right? I can say, personally speaking, and it wasn't me, but personally speaking, that the person that thought that he was really tough literally tried to freaking hit a drill sergeant in the face, and it did not turn out well. And I'm not saying that he got beat up. I'm just saying that the drill sergeants here and people in general know how to act in self-defense and not to go over and beyond on something. So the tough guy of, I'm not gonna listen to you. Well, the thing is, you join the military, so you gotta listen to the drill sergeants, right? So when it comes down to it, you don't want to listen? Alright, we'll just chapter you out, and then go back to where you're at. The one thing I can say about the tough guy act, don't try to press their buttons. Don't try to do it, because at the end of the day, they're gonna try to press your buttons, and if you try to, like, show them that it affects you, they're gonna keep going for the 10 weeks. Alright, just ignore them, right? Because most of the tough guy act is like what I just said, a tough guy act. Because at the end of the day, they're here for a reason. They raised their hand for a reason. You might not know that reason, but most of the time, it is an act. And if they try to act on that tough guy-ness, right, then he or she will probably get kicked out of the military. Because at the end of the day, yes, we might act a certain way, or we might feel a certain way, but again, you gotta act professional at all times, regardless of how you feel. And most of that tough guy act will happen in the beginning of Red Phase and all that stuff. Or it'll happen in the bay where there's no drill sergeants, and they're gonna try to act all tough and be like, you know, you're lucky that we're here, because I would beat your ass if we were actually out in the civilian world. But come, like, 10 out of 10 times, they probably wouldn't. But you're gonna have those chains there. And you're gonna have it, and you're gonna be in the platoon, and then you're just gonna tell them, hey, be quiet, or lock it up, and then they're gonna act all tough and be like, try to go to your face and all that stuff. At the end of the day, all you can do is bring them to the drill sergeants. And we know the ones that act all tough and all that stuff, right? Because then once we start acting, or once we start showing that they're not tough, right, or like telling them certain things or all that stuff, because we know exactly what to say, or what buttons, not buttons, but exactly, I guess, to get in their heads, because we've done this for like a long time, to show them that, hey, you're here for a reason. Doesn't matter if you're tough or you want to fight and all that stuff. If you want to do that, you can do that outside of the military. Like, you can do that and go back home. But here, you are here for a reason, and you're doing this, and this has to be a safe environment for everyone else. So again, you're gonna have those people. Just bring them to the drill sergeants. Don't try to press their buttons, because all they want to do is have a reaction from you. All right, let's see. Another one, and this is the reason why I'm making this video, right? is the ones that you need to baby. You got those trainee like that you literally need to freaking tie their shoes, fix their beds and all that stuff. And we tell the trainees, don't let them not necessarily fail, but if you go time and time again fixing their stuff, right, they're never gonna learn, right? And if they are not built for the military, because not everyone is built for the military, they're not built to do everything that we do, then they need to go. And we gotta, like, there's process in order for us to make sure that the ones that are not able to physically and mentally stand this job go. So there are gonna be those trainees, and I can tell you it was a tough, like when I was in basic. So this is me personally speaking, this is the reason why I saw it. One of my, I guess, old buddies popped up on Facebook, and now we're cool. You know, everything, water on the bridge. It's like been 7 years or so that I've been in basic training. Don't mind squeakies, Eli. And I can tell you, and she wasn't my battle buddy, but she was in my platoon, right? There's only a few females, but of course the females, like, you kind of have to worry about it. If I'm a female, I have to worry about it more, just because we're in the same bay, and then we get scuffed up if we leave one of our battle buddies. But then if we don't leave our battle buddies, then we're late. It's always a ordeal, right? But we always had to baby this trainee, like, hey, fix your bed. Hey, do your hair correctly. Hey, we gotta go, we only have a hit time. Hey, you need to hurry up, it's X, Y, and Z. Hey, stop talking information, stop hassling people. People are telling you to be quiet because you're talking and no one's talking to you. Like, it was so irking. Like, you just want to be like, come on, you know. But you're gonna have those trainees, and you gotta bring them to the drill sergeants, or you gotta, like, I guess in the beginning, try to show them how to do things, you know, because this is the first time that a lot of people actually have left. Like, when I went to basic training, that was probably my real, like, not full, but it was like, oh, it was my full first time of leaving for more than a month, and like being by myself, no communication with my family and all that stuff. I was used to having my mom, dad, and all that stuff, but you know, I got raised a certain way, so I was able to make sure that I can fend for myself. So you're gonna have, I'm gonna 100% guarantee you're gonna have a trainee that needs to get babied, that doesn't understand that that's just slow in general. And for the most part, try to help them out, you know, go slowly, have a battle buddy, help them out, and eventually you gotta bring them to the drill sergeants and be like, she's not pulling her weight, he's not pulling their weight, we gotta baby them, all that stuff, because that happened. Not personally, well, I know one of my buddies had a trainee that was about, I think, like 20, but still couldn't do her bed, still couldn't fully dress herself correctly. It happens. So like I said, bring up to the drill sergeants and all that stuff, or try to help them out too. Let's see, I got this one. So you got the shy ones, and honestly, when I was in basic training, I did have friends. I was very, like, I guess what people tell me, I'm a social butterfly sometimes, but it is good to be kind of not in the light. So that's like, so I've been on the trail, which, you know, being a drill sergeant for like a long time now, and I look at people that aren't, that are kind of hidden. And what I mean about that is that usually I look for my leadership right away. I see the ones that are going to take initiative and the ones that actually want to try hard. But the thing is, I look for not the shy ones, kind of the shy ones, but kind of not. Because, without saying that, because like there's always going to be those trainees that they see the drill sergeants come by, okay, we got to look like this, or hey, do this, or they try to act a certain way when the drill sergeants are there. But there are times where they think we're not looking, or we're not around, or we can't hear them, and there's other trainees that step up to the plate and be like, hey, do you need help with this, and all that stuff. And they're usually the ones that are quiet, that I know is going to be in a good leadership position. Those are the ones I kind of look for. But the shy ones sometimes are the best ones to kind of go about, because you're there to pass, and you might know like a lot of things, but usually the shy ones are the ones that like help out the battle buddies, regardless if they're annoying or they help out. But yeah, I would say if you're in basic training, don't try to be all out there, but don't try to be so timid. But realize you're there for a reason. You're not there for high school stuff, you're not there for college stuff, you're not there just to party, you're not there for summer camp, right? You're there for a reason, and not a lot of people make it. So go there for a reason. Don't just go because the uniform looks cool. Just, yeah, you're gonna meet some different type of people, and there's gonna be a lot more people that I can talk about right now that you're gonna meet, but those are the ones that I can say that are there. But again, if the drill sergeants aren't there and they don't know about the certain person that act tough, or the ones that can't dress themselves, or the ones that don't shower, because there's some that don't shower, right? If the drill sergeants don't know, because we're not there 24/7, you know, we're not there, well, drill sergeants are there when you are sleeping, but we're not literally in the bay watching, all right? You gotta bring them to the drill sergeants, you gotta bring them up to someone, you gotta bring them up to your PG, you gotta bring it up to your squad leader, you gotta bring it up to someone, and it comes back to us. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit longer than usual, but if you have any other questions or any other video idea, go ahead and put it down in the comments below, and yeah, I'll see you guys next one. Peace.